Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe, and I am a weapon of mass instruction. Um, so thank you to everybody who responded to my last two videos. And out of everybody, I only had one person that basically said go and quit, and I gave him a pretty appropriate response, I think. But everybody else was pretty supportive and told me what they thought, and I appreciate that. I've gone ahead and I decided to keep on going, and damn the consequences. And one of the things I got was from a guy named Jeff. He sent me a link to a video that I'm sure plenty of people have already seen. I don't know how old the video itself was originally, but the published date was today, so it was either a remix done by somebody or they just did it today and made that video today. But it was a real fire under the ass, so to speak. So I'm gonna put a link of that in the description box down below. But it basically depicted a lot of the protests in Spain and some brutal stuff. But one thing I liked that I saw was that people were fighting back against the police that were beating the shit out of them, basically. You know, some people fought back, and it showed one segment where a guy ended up kicking the cop in the ass, and the cop fell down, another person kicked him when he got up, and another person kicked him when he got up, and the cop ended up basically running away from all these people that he was originally beating the crap out of them along with all of his buddies. You know, that's just one segment that I saw that, you know, but the whole video kind of struck me, and it's good that I saw it, because even though I'm well aware of how bad things are getting over here, you know, I know it's just as bad over here as we see in other places. It's just that the mainstream media doesn't cover shit like that. You know, the mainstream media doesn't freaking cover a lot of the stuff that's happening here, and you know, basically, you know, we don't see all of it, but we can get reports of it from plenty of people that are right in the middle of all that shit here in the States. You know, NDAA, NDRP, you know, National Defense Authorization Act, National Defense Resources Protection, I think it's called. Freaking did CISPA go through? One of those cybersecurity acts went through. They're redesigning their cybersecurity protocols. They're basically doing more and more day by day to turn the government into an impenetrable fortress and leaving everybody else out in the dark. You know, and it's pretty easy to see what the end game is, especially when you factor in Agenda 21, which is, you know, brainchild of the UN, and America is following through with that, just like everybody else. So I'm going to put that link down below. You know, I recommend it to everybody to watch that and give it a good hard look and think about what the guy is talking about there, because all the shit that you see there, it's coming to a hometown near you if it's not there already. That's really what I wanted to share right now. You know, and I read the comments under the video that I watched, and freaking, it's amazing how much conflict there is between us, and we all call ourselves truthers, or we're awake, or whatever you want to call yourself. We're all on the same side. We're all trying to expose this to everybody else out there. You know, and millions of Americans could see this video, and how many of them are so fed into the lies that are put out there by the mainstream media and the big corporations. How many of them are fed into all that bullshit that they look at what they can see with their own two eyes, know that it's not photoshopped, that it's not doctored in somehow, and know that they're seeing what's really going on out there in the world and here in our own country. And they will still deny until the cows come home. I don't want to make it too long, but you know what? We have so few rights now. We have to do what we can to keep what we've got, and I had discussions or arguments, whatever you want to call them, with people in the past about gun control. And there's some people out there that you really can't talk any sense into. But one person told me, hey, you know what, pick your battles. And if it comes down to it, give up your guns if they come for them to keep yourself alive to fight another day. You know what? Like, if it comes down to it, if it takes somebody like me telling the man to fuck himself, if he comes to take my guns away and I end up getting killed for it, if everybody else ends up seeing that, or like is able to see a story about it on the mainstream media and is able to see past the lies and the spin and know what really happened, like stuff like Ruby Ridge, and everybody hears about the official version, but it was a pretty fucked up situation. And I heard about it from my gunsmith back at the range a while back, and he was telling me some of the backstory on it, because when it first happened, he did some research into that guy and his family, and he came to find out that the government was kind of in the wrong there, kind of overreacted just a tad. And that was back in the 80s, like right around the time of the Oklahoma City bombing. So take a look at that. That's a good example of how the official story does not match up with what really happened. And 9/11, it's fucking huge, and they got away with it. But you know what? The more we expose, even if they keep on going on with their lives, we got to keep trying to wake people up. And if it comes down to it, I won't give up my guns, and hopefully that'll wake people up. Hopefully they'll wake up and smell the fucking napalm and realize that, what, if they don't fight, they're going to lose everything, and they're going to live in the world of 1984. It's already here, so much so. There's cameras everywhere watching our every move, all our shit that we do on the internet that's being tracked, monitored, and used against us. Who was it? I read something about somebody who got a subpoena to give up their Twitter account information to the government so that they could prosecute them. It's like, that's fucking ridiculous. The shit that the government is doing, and it's all out there. It's all happening. And all it really takes is one more big event. And you know what? The one guy that told me that I should quit making videos and just shut the hell up, he did make a good point though, which was basically that freaking, I did do a fair amount of predicting back a couple months ago, back in July, not even, when I was talking about all that shit in Colorado. Good morning. How are you? Hey, sweetie pie. Are you ready for some dinner? Okay, I'll be just 1 second, all right? I was talking about the Russians in Fort Carson, and he does make a good point. I felt sure that some crazy stuff was going to go down, and it hasn't yet, but that doesn't mean that nothing is going to happen. That doesn't mean we can just, go back to sleep if we've woken up to the idea, like, if nothing else, let that serve to be, a good bit of, I did some research, and I found out some stuff that was quite interesting. Look at how many military, like, top-level units were stationed in that one base. If that got invaded, or if it was given away, how the military infrastructure could crumble like that, or very easily something could have been staged there to make it look like an invasion, when really it was our own damn government just, solidifying its hold on us, completing the matrix, as it were. So just keep on digging, keep on fighting the power, and keep on trying to wake people up, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on trying to wake people up, because whatever happens, and making these videos is one of the few things that really makes me happy, because I'm able to put out my viewpoint and hopefully get others, not necessarily to come to my way of thinking, but at the very least start thinking Just start thinking. Put a critical eye towards everything you see, hear, sense, even my stuff. You know. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it at that. I'm gonna come back soon. I've been thinking about a lot of survivalism stuff, so I'm probably gonna do a couple of episodes on survivalism, things to think about, ways to make your campsite and stuff like that. So I'll put that up shortly. Probably not today, but very soon in the near future. All right, y'all stay safe. Take a look at that video that I'm linking to you, because it was definitely, definitely lit a fire under my ass. I had to put something out about it, even if it wasn't to the full scope of what I normally like to do, but something needs to be said about it, and that something is, we gotta fight. We gotta fight for everything that we've got, and keep on fighting for it, because otherwise, the only thing that's gonna happen is we'll lose it. Freedom of speech, right to bear arms, right to freedom of worship, everything. It's all there. You got to keep on fighting for it every step of the way. Give no quarter. Y'all stay safe. Peace.